Hello everyone. Welcome once again to another Power BI related tutorial by Team Slide School. In this part, we are learning about creating electrical appliances sales analysis dashboard. Here is a dashboard that you can see where we have city information. You can compare two different cities, select three of them and see and compare their sales. You can see different category of products like geyser, fridge, fan, etc. Then you can also see we have different stores. We have not named these stores, but they are given as store 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. Then we have month information, year information, and by using all these filters, you can see we are filtering data like total sales and final price by category, total sales by city, total sales or revenue by month, revenue by temperature groups. That if temperature is high, is the revenue also high? If temperature is low, is the revenue also low? For a particular type of product, what is our case? For example, if we use a particular product like a smart fridge, for example, so you will be able to see. So you can add these filters accordingly and create this dashboard. So how has this dashboard been created, and how it relates to part 1 and part 2 that we did? Everything will be explained in this tutorial. Let's get started with it. So in the data set that we had in this project, we have date, city name, store name, which we explained in part 1 and part 2 as well. Then we have category of that electronic product or electrical product, what type of product it was, quantity sold, unit price, how much discount was given, revenue that was there. So if discount is 0, revenue will equal final price. If some discount is given, then final price will be the final price that this company will be getting. And we had temperature and discount value. So based on that, we created many DAX related questions, or we created these type of values like top n value. Then we created total discount by category table where we summarized the sales table grouping by category name, taking total discount, etc. And we created this chart. Then in second part, we did all the financial analysis like year over year sales by category, year over year sales by date, and so on. But and where we also found total sales and year over year sales together. So in this part, some students who are new, they requested us to create a simple sales table, a simple sales dashboard. So here it was more like sales pattern where we were using average AC sales by category, etc. So I will teach you how to create a simple sales table. This is for beginners. So if you have already seen part 1 and part 2, so this will be very easy for you to understand. Otherwise, you can still create this. So what we do is we have a CSV file, and after opening Power BI, we will go to get data and connect the CSV file, and then our main sales table will be loaded. So this sales table is the main table that we have. Whenever we have to do financial analysis, like whenever we have to create year over year, etc. So we create a dynamic date table. This table is created with the calendar function where we use a minimum function, a maximum function, because a calendar function requires starting date and end date, and hence it creates a table for us. So starting date is the first date of sales in the data set, and end date is the last date of sales in the data set. That's how it goes. Now let's create a simple dashboard. So what we'll do is we'll simply duplicate this, and we can call it revenue analysis. So in revenue analysis or sales analysis, We will create a simple dashboard. So our target was to see if daily temperature increases, then sales of what kind of appliances increase. That's what we did in first and second part. So in this dashboard, first thing is we can write something like electrical appliances sales analysis or revenue analysis. So this is what we are doing here. And now what we have done is this is a text box. So I am repeating for someone who is watching this for the first time. This is a text box. We go to insert and add a text box. Then we can select the text and choose a font for it, choose a size for it. So size we can select our 28, 32, etc. And we select a color for it. That's what we do. So that's what we have done here. And we can make it bold, italic, and underline. We can align it left, right, or center. Once we have selected our text box, we can also go to effects where we can enable or disable its background. We can enable or disable its visual border. And we can enable or disable its shadow. That's what we can do. So that's how it appears. So we have enabled a shadow, a visual border, and for visual border you can choose a particular color. So that's what you will see here. So that's how you will create this. Now to show the KPIs like this, like total revenue, average temperature, summer revenue, etc. What we have is we use these card visuals. In card visuals, you can select one field. So from sales table, we have selected one field, that is revenue. We can also select final price. So this is revenue. And here we can see that we can select a function also. So you can select average, you can select sum, etc. And for heading, we are using these kind of font icons. So I will provide a list of these font icons that you can copy and directly add as a text here. So you can use. So you can see it's just a text, it's not an image. For these visuals also, we can go to their visual settings where we have call out value. So you can select a particular color for call out value, size for it, and this is category label. So you can also select size for category label. Like you can see it is increasing or decreasing, and you can also select a particular color. So we can go with a color like this. So this is our card visual where we can show numerical value, or we can also show text value, but a single value. Here also in general settings we have effects where we can enable visual border, we can enable or disable shadow. This is optional that you can do as well. Then we can go to home tab and copy them and paste them. So that's what we have done. So after pasting, here we have selected average temperature. So it is given what was the temperature at that time when this sales took place. So what was the temperature in degree Celsius? So that's what is given. So here also we have used a font icon or thermometer. As I said, I will add these font icons so that you can simply copy as a text. It will be there in the link that I will provide. So we have that, and for this also we are using the same styling. Anytime you want to copy the formatting, so you can click on that visual from where you want to copy and paste it here. So you can see that same categorical label color is also there. Then here we added summer revenue. How we calculated summer revenue was with the help of this simple calculate function in DAX. So this is a measure. So we can right click here and create a new measure, and that measure is created with the help of calculate function where we use sums, etc. So this is all explained in detail in the first part, but here, because we are trying to analyze sales here, so obviously we have done revenue analysis, but we also have price. So we will only focus on columns that are there. So this is final price. So I will search final price and just add it here, and it will give a label as sum of final price, and here we will just write final price. So this is, so you can see revenue is 14 million, but after discount and all, total final price is 12.75 million. Similarly, we will also see total discount. So here you can see discount percentage is given. So what is given to us is discount percentage, and it is not given what is total discount in value. Either we can write average discount or we can write average discount percentage. So for example, we can add this, and here we can select average. So you can see what is average discount. It is showing it in thousands because here in call out value display unit setting is set as thousands. If we select auto, so this is average discount percentage 7.9%. You can show this metric also, like what is average discount percent. So but I will tell you, if you want to show value also, how to do that, because we have done that. For discount value, you will create a calculated column. So you will right click here and create a new column. We are calculating discount value for every row here. So you can see discount value is similar, a simple difference between these two, or you can also calculate it on the basis of discount percentage. So revenue multiplied by discount, this asterisk sign is multiply. Let me copy this formula and pen a notepad. This is a simple DAX formula where in a bracket sales is our table name, revenue is a column name. So we put the table name inside single quotes in case they have spaces or special characters. Then we have square bracket where we put column name. Then these are mathematical operators. So plus, minus or subtraction, forward slash or divide, asterisk or multiply or a star. So this is for multiplication. So these are some characters that you can use for mathematical calculations. So that's what we are doing, and it follows a rule BOD mass. You must have heard this rule in your initial classes also when we were reading mathematics. That bracket of divide, multiply, addition, subtraction. So first multiplication will be done, and then bracket will be solved, and then it will be divided by 100. So that's how you can do that. So that's how you can use these formulas. Difference between a calculated column and a measure in this case will be that a measure will always be a single value, a single aggregate value, like current year sales or average temperature and AC sales. So here, but this is a column, so it will be calculated for each row, and then you can add. So if we use this discount value column and write sum of it, so here you can say total discount value. Total discount value is 1.19 million. We can also calculate it by simply subtracting them, but we are just using more arithmetic operators, so we can see what is happening. So now we can copy format painter in this. So what is total revenue? Average temperature that we have just added. Instead of average temperature that we already have used in other reports, we can also try to see what is average revenue per order. So we can add here. How will we do that? Instead of sum of revenue, we will select average. So this is average revenue per order. So this average will be calculated per order basis. So because here one row is representing one order. So this is what we can see. So now when we are doing sales analysis or revenue analysis, columns like average revenue or final price will be our main factors to analyze. So first I will get rid of these charts because these are already created. Now you take a target field and you take other categorical fields. So that's how as a beginner you can remember. So let's say there are n fields. So here for example revenue and final price, we can pick any one of them or we can add multiple also. So revenue and final price are our target fields, and features that we have to compare are store name, city name, average temperature or temperature. So we have to see temperature versus sales that we already did, and whatever other categorical values we have like product name. So they are here. So you can see category, product, these are also features. So product, etc. So what we do when creating charts like this, because most of the beginners are confused, what measures should we take? So we create a metric like this: revenue by store name, revenue by city name, revenue by temperature, revenue by category. So we can create a simple chart like this: revenue by product, and this will also give whoever is analyzing the data, this will give them an idea that which store has more revenue, which city has more revenue, at which temperature do we have, or at what temperature do we have more revenue, at what category of product is giving. Important thing is some of them are categorical, but some of them like temperature are numerical as well. So then it comes our decision to put what type of visuals we can use when our data is numerical, one categorical, or one numerical and other numerical. So if you remember this, creating dashboards will be very easy. So first is we will go by, let's say, category wise revenue. So our categories are heater, geyser, iron, fridge, and TV. And so what we do is we have created a simple stack column chart. In a column chart, you can see we have a x-axis, we have a y-axis, and we have a legend. So in x-axis, we can put our categorical field. In y-axis, we can put our revenue, which is our target field here, total revenue or total sales that we created. So we created a simple measure, total sales, which was sum of sales revenue. So we will just add that, and now you will be able to see total sales by category. In this visual, which is a bar chart, we have some settings. So you can see the revenue over these bars because data labels are on. So you have to do one setting. Then in columns, you can select a color. So this is a color. If you want any other color, for example, this or maybe this color, so you can select that color as per your requirement as well. So if we are going with this color, that is also okay. Then here in general setting, we have title where you can write your title. This is total sales by category. For title, you can select a color as well. Let's select this color. You can increase its size. I'm going with 14 pixels. Here also we have effects where we can enable shadow. We can also enable border. So if you want, you can do that as well. Now we can copy. So click on it, copy and paste. So this will create another visual for you. You can paste it one more time, another visual. So that's what we did in previous parts. We created three column row where we can create three visuals. And now we will select, or we can just replace category with some other categorical field. For example, instead of category, we can select city. So we have four cities here, and you can see city-wise revenue. And so this will also give answers simply. It will also give correct answers. But just for variety or for better understanding, sometimes we can add more charts, or we can just use a clustered bar chart. So it will be same thing but with a different representation. Here also we have different settings. Here you can see there it was showing us columns and its color. Now it is showing us bar and its color. Let me show you one more thing, that the color that we have here is a simple static color, but we can also give conditional formatting. In conditional formatting, we will select gradient format as style, and it will ask you on what basis. So we will select sales, and we will select total sales because we are basing this on total sales, and we are using this color, right? So we will select a light color for lowest value and a dark green color for highest value. If you want to add a middle color, you can add some other color. Let's add a blue color for middle. So now you can see this is how we use gradient style. So this is showing total sales by city, and it will enable legend for us. This is legend, which is showing minimum value and maximum value, and by what color are we showing those values. So this is optional, so you can add that as well. So this is total sales by city. You can also show total sales by city on map also, but because we have only 4 or 5 cities, so we are just using this data. For multiple cities, we can use a map also. You can just click on map and it will automatically select and show data. So you can see it will add bubble size. So you can see Chandi, because Jaipur has higher value. So you can see bubble size for Jaipur is higher, and we have Lucknow and so on. Now in map, we can also go and select road or grayscale, so that our main focus is to show the bubbles that we have, or light, or we also have a dark theme. So whatever you want to do, you can select accordingly. Or we have aerial. So if you select light, then you can show by city as well. And here we have bubbles where you can see range scaling is auto. You can also select data range, you can also select magnitude, and size you can select accordingly. If you want to actually show bigger size, because we have 4 or 5 cities and we can, so we can do that. In this case, what you can do is we can, as for different colors we have used, so you can see map, etc. So you can get rid of that color gradient thing, and then you can create this. So let me show you. So first we will undo some steps, or I will just copy and paste it quickly. Here we don't have any gradient applied, so we will just replace it with city and simply change it to map. Then we will go to map settings, light color, and then in bubbles we will select 5. So you can not 50 but 5. So you can see what cities are highlighted, and when you take your mouse over them, you will be able to see. So that's what we can do, because these are point, like city is a point. If it was a state, so we could have used this map, field map. So that we will see in other examples, where I will create another data where we will add states. So this is what we can do. Next category that we, or next categorical value that we have is date also. So, but for date, we have already created a date table. So once we create a date table, in that date table, you will see, you can click on this date table and you will have an option to mark it as a date table. Then, and this will all be in the table view. When you will mark it as a date table, so you will be having an option to choose a date column, where you can select date column, and then this will appear like this. Now you can create month by using this simple formula, that month equal to month date table date, year, etc. So you can do that also. So you can create month, year, etc. So let's say we want to see total sales by month. So here what you can do is, here you can add month, and now you will be able to see total sales by month 1, 2, 3, 4, and 12. So this is total sales by month starting from 0 to 12. So this is what you can do, and here you can apply that gradient style again just to practice. So in columns, you can go to FX and you can select, obviously it is giving you on total sales basis. You can select low, high, and add a middle color. This is optional, but you can add this. So let me add another dark color. So you can see total sales by month, and you will be able to see in which month it is green. It is already highlighting months with higher sales. So this is what you can do. And here this is written as month M. For some reason we wrote that. So now we can rename it in the visual. We don't have to change it everywhere, but we can rename it in the visual. So this is total sales by month, and for this we can also use a line chart. So you can see 0 month, 2 months, and so on. So you can use either a line chart or this chart, whatever you prefer. Now we have created using 3 charts, like we have used date also. If you want to see more date related functions in action, so you can see we have more advanced analysis. Even we have created visuals like this, where you can see year over year label is also created on the basis of calculated, or on the basis of DAX function. So that, but here we are keeping it simple. Now in this case we have selected one category and total sales. So we will get rid of that, and let's see. So we have created category wise. Now we also have product name. So obviously that will be most important thing, which product is giving us more revenue. So for that also we can select like this, and here also we can use a clustered bar so that we can add. Now there is one more thing. What is meaning of clustered and stacked here? That here you can see on x-axis we are using total sales when it is a horizontal bar. So in horizontal bar the number will come on x-axis, We can add another number. For example, final price is there. So we can add total final price also here. So instead of sum of final price is it, I will just write final price like this. And here, because this is revenue, right? We have just some revenue. So this is meaning of cluster, that we are now seeing two columns for each product that we have, and we are seeing its value also. Here you can see we have different settings, like we have bar settings where you can see transparency, we can enable or disable, that's not needed. We can enable or disable a border. You can see layout like reverse order. So you can see now revenue is on bottom and final price is on top and so on. You can see sort by value is already on. Space between categories is 20%. You can see, so this is what it is automatically selected, but 20% is good, or you can also write 10%. So these things can also be customized. Gap between them, you can see we can increase gap between them, gap between each category that we have. So as you can see, all these settings are there and you can do that. So this is revenue and final price by product. Another modification that you can try is what are top 10 products or top 5 products by revenue or by final price. So for that you can go to filters, and here you can see product is all. So you can go to top n filtering, and here you can write top 5 for example, and then based on, let's say, final price, sum of final price, and apply. So now you are only seeing top 5 products, so you are not seeing that scroller here. So this is something that you can do. I am clearing everything, but this is something that you can try, so you will be able to see top n filter. And in one video I have also given instructions about creating a dynamic top n filter, like you can select top 1, top 2, top 3, and so on. So that also you can try. You can take these things as an assignment, and if you are facing any difficulty you can connect with us in comment section. We will be happy to explain it to you. This is revenue and final price by product. We can add final price here also, for example this. So this is a stack chart. So in a stack chart you can see values are stacked on top of each other. In case of clustered chart, there are two separate columns. So that's what you can see here. That's how you can spot the difference. And here when we are doing that, so we can choose the color. So for total sales we can select this color, and final price we can select our green color, or we can also select something like this. So to just match the color scheme that we are using here. So this is what we can do, and same thing here as well. So here in bars you will have options to choose color. Let's say for final price we are using the same color, so we will use same color here as well. This is revenue and final price by product. So these are all categorical data. Now we also have a store information, so we have to see by store also. We'll create this copy. You can see how I am using grid lines to see that all sizes are equal. We have equal gap between them. These red lines will guide you, and it is perfectly aligned in center. You can see the red line running through center also. So that's how you can check. Now we have product name here. Instead of that, we can just select a store name. Let's say here we want to see final price. So like this is also a perfect answer. But let's say we just want to see final price, but we want to show these stores in different colors, and we want to use some other visual. So that we can use here is a tree map. In a tree map you can see it will create a visual like this, This is final price by store, or we can say final revenue or sales by store, whatever you want to go with. And here you can see store 5 has given us a better final price. We can also select revenue, obviously, because that is our main field. So in values, we will select revenue, and instead of sum of revenue, I'm just writing revenue just to make the titles shorter. This is revenue by store. So this tree map, as you can see, it starts from a rectangle with small area and goes up to, it expands like a tree, you can see, and goes up to a triangle which has largest area. So rectangle with the largest area. So here store 5 with 2 million revenue is the store with highest revenue. That's why it is on top. So it sorts accordingly also. Where area of this rectangle is representing the number. What I'm going to do is, here I have data labels. Display unit is auto. Instead of million, let me show in thousands, so that we can see the difference, because it was showing 2062K as 2 million and 1881K as 2 million. So now you can see the difference between. So this is revenue by store, and now we can copy, and as per our, you know, the layout that we created, the layout we imagined, all these are created, only temperature is remaining. So for temperature we can do two things. So here you can see temperature is given, it's a number. So one correct answer for this will be choose a scatter chart when you have to analyze or see relationship between two numbers. By relationship we mean that if one increases, will it increase, will the second also increase or decrease or stay constant. So we will say they have no direct relation. So this scatter plot is sometimes also called a relational plot. So here we will add revenue, and we will not use any measure, we will directly use this column on y-axis, because this is the dependent field and temperature is independent field. So temperature is independent because we want to see if temperature increases, will it increase revenue, and that's why we will use don't summarize here. And for sum of revenue also we will say don't summarize. So here you can see that the scatter plot is scattered all over. So this shows that there is no direct, we cannot identify the direct relationship between temperature and revenue. That's why what we do is sometimes we create a new group from a numerical value, and minimum value of temperature is 5 degrees and maximum value is 44 degrees. So we can say, obviously we have a huge range here, but we will divide it into 10 temperature bins, like, so every bin size is 3.9. So you can see, let me take it up to this. So we are using 7 bins, like temperature is 5 degrees Celsius apart. So whatever you think is a better categorical data. So 5, 4.8, like let's take 4.8, it's close to 5. What it means is minimum temperature is 5.5. So we are grouping values between 5.5 to 10.5, let's say. So 5.5 to 10.5 temperature is a group. 10.5 degrees Celsius to 16 degrees Celsius another group. So it will be like that. So what it will do, this is temperature, so it will create these temperature groups, and hence we will be able to create histograms, and this difference between each is what we are seeing here, 4.8 degrees Celsius. So let's keep this, and now if we are not able to identify it like this, so we sometimes try using a bin also. So we will use temperature bin, and then we will not use a scatter plot. We can use something like a funnel chart where we will put revenue as values. So now you can see for temperature bin of 29 degrees Celsius, what is revenue? For temperature bin of 20 Celsius, what is that? But a better type of chart for this is a bar chart. So something like this. So here you can see that in this range, temperature bin of 29 degrees Celsius, which will come somewhere here, 29. So for this sales is lower, but for other it is higher. So for example, when it is higher, when we are in a bin of 20 degrees Celsius, so between 20 to 25. So this way you can identify total revenue or revenue by temperature. So we can simply write it like this. And sometimes these bins are also called groups. So we can write temperature groups, whatever you want to use, whatever term you want to use. And here also, if you want, we can apply the same gradient style. So we can go columns, fx. Instead of count of temperature bins, we will select based on, okay, yeah, base it on final revenue. Select lower value as this, higher value as this. Add a middle color as this. Click OK, and now it will show the same data. Now this is a sidebar. It is a shape that we added in the first part. You can add a rectangular shape here. You can resize it, reposition it. I will delete it. I'm just showing you. You can use it anywhere. You can go to style and choose its color, and you can use another fill color for it. Whatever fill color you feel is good for you, and you can use this. And then on this filter we have added a image. So you can go to image, and from here you can select an image. So I have some images in my assets folder where which I can use. So I have added that image. So let's say for electrical appliances we can also use this image. So whatever you feel. Then we create a slicer. This slicer works as a filter. So here you will put the categorical or numerical fields as um, you know field here, a single field here. So we can see we have added city, we have added category. So we have created these 4 or 5 filters. So for obviously if this is quick, so you can also check first part. So that's how you add. Let me show you. So let's say this is a blank visual. We can add a single card here. In that card I add city. So this is a card, but if we use a slicer, this will show it like this. This will show like a filter, and we can go to slicer settings and select it as a drop down. So that's what we can do. And now if you will put this drop down over any shape, it will appear like this. For slicer headers, you can see slicer headers. We can select a font color like this, so that at least it is properly readable. Then we can copy format painter and apply here. So we can select one filter, format painter, apply here. And if I'm facing problem, I will just repeat instead of trying. Sometimes this happens because of layering. So you can change font color accordingly. If you want to add more filters, like here we have added date as a filter. So if you want to replace date with month, for example, so we can replace it by year or month. So we can add month as filter. We can also copy and paste, and we can add year as a filter. So you can see. So we can select 2024, and this is data of 24 sales. This is data of 23 sales. Sorry for the noise from background. But this is how you can create a simple electrical appliances sales analysis dashboard. And if you have any problems understanding this, you can connect with us. Thanks for watching this part. This was a simple explanation without using too much of DAX, but and some freshers requested it. Some people who have just joined, they requested it. If you also want to join these classes, you can connect with us in the comment section and we will be happy to help. Thanks for watching this video. Please like this video, subscribe to our channel because more visuals like this are coming every day. Almost every day we add a new data analysis dashboard or machine learning tutorial. So it will help you in your data science journey. Thanks once again. Have a nice day.